Alright. Alright. Welcome all you raiders. I just finished Hugo 3, the Jungle of Doom, and I'm starting to hopefully play The Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes, The Case of the Serrated Scalpel. That's the hope. DOSBox was not happy with the game, so we're trying it in ScumVM and see what happens. So far, we got some good good music. Well, hey. Hey, that's further than we got before. So I think we're in good shape. That bottle was freezing the DOSBox version of the game. Early the following morning on Baker Street.
Yes?
Begging your pardon, ma'am. This is a note from Mr. Holmes from Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard.
Oh, very well. I'll see that he gets it. Thank you, Constable.
Have you been sufficiently fortified by Mrs. Hudson's murderous copy, Watson, to put your mind to this mystery?
Whatever are you on about, Holmes, so early in the morning?
I'm sorry to interrupt your reading, old man. Mrs. Hudson has just delivered a very intriguing note. Would you care to peruse it?
By all means. Mr. Holmes, a young woman has been brutally murdered outside the Regency Theatre in Oxford Street. The evidence here suggests that Jack the Ripper has emerged from under his rock in Whitechapel and struck savagely in Mayfair. Despite your contention that the Ripper's work is without motive, and therefore not suited for your methods, I believe you would find this case of interest, and the Yard would be most grateful to hear your opinions. G. Lestrade.
I will not deny his request, Watson. If you would accompany me, I should be glad to have you at my side.
With pleasure, Holmes. Lestrade seems finally to have recognized the value of your investigative techniques.
My blushes, Watson. Your compliment will turn my head. Let us see if I am truly worthy.
Yeah, that site is very slow when it comes to downloads. I will agree with that. Software design and programming, Mythos Software. So this is actually a game by Mythos Software, it sounds like. I'm guessing EA is probably the distributor more than anything. Alright, so we got some credits. Let's skip those. Ah, here we go. Setup? Would that be like volume and stuff? Okay. We set the volume. Joystick. Font style. Auto help. sound effects, voices. I like all of that. The only thing I don't like is the music is a bit louder than the voices, and it's hard to hear them talk. Yeah, I went to download this game from the site and it said it was going to take 35 minutes, so I decided to look for a different version. Okay, I have 3 different fonts that I can pick from. Well, that's something I've never seen in a game before. Okay, I can choose music, turn it off, sound effects on, voices on, fade by pixel, fade directly. Okay, there's a lot of weird stuff here. Okay, alright. File, probably saving. So let's save it. Start. Okay. Okay, so we've got we're in a room. We're in a room. We see a violin. Looks a lot like the Lucas Arts style of interface. I don't know, that might be something to look into. Jackknife. We have give, use, inventory. What's in our inventory? We have a message requesting help and a number of business cards. Okay, well that's fun. All right. So I guess I didn't properly introduce myself to anybody who came here from the raid, but I am Taco Salad 77. I play pretty much exclusively point-and-click adventure games and or puzzle games because a lot of point-and-click adventure games are puzzle games. So that's what I tend to focus on is point-and-click and puzzle games, which a lot of times are the same thing. So right now, this is game number 41, I think, which is The Lost Files of Sherlock Holmes, Case of the Serrated Scalpel. There's a lot of stuff in this room. Let's look at stuff. An apparatus commonly used for manufacturing soda water on a small scale. A siphon is attached to the double beaker so water can be drawn off into an occasional whiskey and soda because these devices have a tendency to explode unexpectedly. It is always kept away from the sitting room's lounging area near the fire. Okay. Sideboard, a rosewood sideboard, the top of which is strewn with cigar boxes, assorted bottles of alcoholic spirits, the odd plate or two, a common gasogene. Gasogene? Is that how you say that? Gasogene? And sundry ornamental Victoriana. Lab table. Pine-topped, acid-stained table holds a variety of laboratory apparatus ready to perform chemical analysis and experiments. A vast collection of chemicals, test tubes, pipettes, retorts, litmus paper, and glass stoppered bottles are scattered around an oil wick, burner, and a high-powered microscope. A more than slightly noxious odor pervades the whole area. Okay, got stash. What was that I saw? Stash. Collection of odd bits and bottles, all of which bespeak the vices Watson so tirelessly condemns, plus the day's cigar ends and cigarette butts. Jack. 6-bladed utility knife, type used by the Swiss infantrymen, versatile in emergencies and dire straits. The primary blade of this one fixes unanswered correspondence, a few unwelcome. Yeah, I think maybe stash cannot be opened. Can I take things? Pick up the stash. No. Can't. Pick up the jackknife. Nothing. Okay. Chart. Let's look at that. Chart. Jeez, there's so much in this room that you can look at. Chart. The periodic table of elements, edition 1886, is affixed to the wall with brass carpet tacks. Immediately below it are hung measuring paraphernalia and a small ball peen hammer. Okay. Picture. A framed reproduction of Clifford's portrait of General Charles George Chinese Gordon, 1833 to 1835, the hero of the Chinese War of 1860. He was killed by the Mahdi's forces in the Battle of Khartoum. Okay. Sheet music, violin. I probably can't pick any of this stuff up. Oh, I picked up the sheet music. Just as I say, I probably can't pick any of this stuff up. I pick something up. Pick up the violin. No. Look at the bullet holes. Over 70 bullet holes compose a script rendition of the sovereign's initials VR for Victoria Regina. This redecoration of the south wall was recently performed by a pistol as a singular demonstration of patriotism for the beloved Queen's Golden Jubilee on June 21st, 1887. Okay. All right. What else? Watson's desk. Who am I? Am I Holmes? Use his desk. Can't. Open his desk. Can't. What else have we got? Book. Pick up. No. Book. Okay. Griffith Rampart. Exhaustive survey of the subtle influence which Anglo-Saxon coats of arms exerted on Fund Normand traditions. Blah 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 blah. Okay. A lot of. Okay. I think that was just supposed to say this is something that is technical. A bearskin rug. Okay. There's no speed settings in this either. Supplied unwillingly by an amorous European brown bear, its close proximity to an almost constantly burning coal fire has rendered its once lustrous coat a bit dingy and fire-scarred. Okay. I think that's about it in this room. There's Watson. Oh, there's another desk here. A handsome roll-top desk littered with insignificant pieces of paper, dust. A key set in the single drawer is turned to the open position. Okay. All right. Check that out. Desk now. The desk contains a small daily diary and a checkbook. No, I want to take it. Can't look closer. Okay. Okay. Journal. What's my journal? Oh. Though he was loath to say it, I do believe Holmes was truly gratified by Inspector Lestrade's note and the request for his assistance which it contained. I'm sure I can't recall seeing him more excited at the onset of an investigation. He knows that Scotland Yard only calls him in on its most challenging cases. So I have actually read, I think, the first 2 or 3 Sherlock Holmes books, and they are written from the perspective of Watson, as if Watson is like. So the journal kind of makes sense. Use the door. Okay, let's use the door. We open the door. Come along, Watson. The game's afoot. Quite so, Holmes. We're leaving. Alright, we get some music now. Talk to Wiggins. Are the rest of your lads available, Wiggins? That's at the ready, sir. Tell me what you need, and I'll pass it on. There's 8 who's willing to work, so it'll cost 8 bob a day, plus the usual reward. Okay. I will be requesting your assistance, Wiggins. At your service, Mr. Holmes. You got a job for the irregulars? Well, no, Wiggins. Not just at the moment. Very good, sir. Let me know when there's anything we can do. We can all use the brass. Okay. Talk to Jonas, the newsstand operator. My compliments, Mr. Rigby. The day finds you well, I trust. Indeed, Mr. Holmes. Business has been brisk. The great British public devours anything to do with the Ripper. While Jack's at work, my family's eating steak and kidney pudding. Okay. Alright. Alright, now where do we go? Alright, cool. Alley? We got the alley? Is that where I want to go? That seems like the only place. Oh wait, we got a scrolling city here. The alley's the only place we can go, so I assume that's where we're supposed to go. Cool, cool. Let's go to the alley. Oh, well, look, we got the carriage going. That's pretty cool. Inspector Lestrade. Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson. Very good of you to come so quickly. After you've thoroughly examined the scene and the corpus delicti, please share your observations with me. Okay. Alright. Alright, now we gotta investigate. It's time to investigate. We're back in our detective mode after the Hugo games, which really didn't do a whole lot of detecting. We got cigarette butts. Let's look at these. Behind one corner of the crate are a half-dozen cigarette ends recently crushed into the dirt. The brand is common and smoked by thousands of Londoners. The smoker was a man wearing heavy shoes or work shoes. Given the length of the butts, his fingers are most certainly stained by nicotine. Okay. This is a well-traveled but sturdy crate with a detachable cover, the name of the theater stenciled on the cover. It is almost worn away. Footprints in the dirt nearby indicate someone standing here recently. Okay. Alright. Some barrels. Let's look at those. I mean, it seems like in like all adventure games, you want to look at everything. Everything. This is a storage area for damaged or discarded stage props from the season's plays. These items are waiting for the dustman. The entire area appears undisturbed. Okay. Iron bar. Let's look at that. This is a 2-foot section of iron bar. Both ends are corroded by rust. There is a trace of red paint on one end. Can we pick it up? Hey, hey! There's a cat messing with my headphones. I assume that basically it'll give me this trace of red. Okay. Alright, let's look at the corpse. Might as well. Okay. A woman, approximately 25 years old, has had her jugular vein viciously slashed. This was certainly the cause of death. There are several non-fatal gashes on her abdomen, abrasions on the back of her neck, and scratches on her left ring finger. The distinct odor of a of a what? Seem to have had. They seem to have hit a. The wounds are clearly made with a short blade, perhaps the size of and shape of a scalpel. Close observation reveals that the blade was serrated. Thus the name of the game. There's a trace of white powdery residue of unknown nature in the victim's coat immediately beside what? Okay, let's save as glitch. I don't think I said glitch, but how do we exit? Wait, everything seems to come back. Okay. No, it didn't come back. Okay. Alright. Something weird is happening. Alright, we're gonna quit. We're gonna reopen it. Because it somehow glitched out on us. Load. Glitch. Oh. We're gonna look at this again. The abrasions on her neck imply that her attacker forcibly removed some sort of heavy chain or necklace. There are 3 separate lines where a chain scraped her neck, all of which are deep and vivid. Oh man, we have a lot of options in the corpse. The distinct odor of a particularly cloying and inexpensive brand of perfume pervades the body. Okay. The white powdery residue. The substance was most probably on the murder weapon at the time of the attack. A thorough chemical analysis would most likely reveal its composition. So can we get it? And then we got knife wounds. The wounds were clearly made with a short blade, perhaps the size and shape of a scalpel. Close observation reveals that the blade was serrated, the name of the game. There was a trace of white powdery residue of unknown nature on the victim's coat immediately beside what appears to be the first of the indomitable wounds. So we got a handbag. Look at that. This is a simple silk-lined handbag, sometimes called a reticule. Okay, the contents: a pocket mirror, a tin of facial powder, a large metal key, a kerchief, and some pouch have been dumped out and apparently subjected to a hasty search. So maybe for money? Okay, we got a hat over here. The hat, probably her hat. The lady's very stylish hat, fashioned in crimson silk. Take it. Pick up the hat. Please look at anything you like, but I shall need that hat as evidence. Okay, what do we got in our inventory? We've got a number of business cards. Okay. We've got, what else? We got a box. We got a door. The door to the rear entrance to the theater. Okay. I think that's about all we've got here. Got a lamp. Can we open the door? Can we go inside? Begging your pardon, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector would like a quick word before you go inside. Yes, Mr. Holmes, we have much to discuss. Okay. Is there anything you can tell me that isn't obvious from the scene, Inspector? The deceased was an actress here at the theater named of Sarah Cronaway. She lived by herself out in the Bayswater, according to our only witness. There's a sister whereabouts presently unknown. The witness found the body but remembers nothing of the person she saw fleeing the scene. You may talk to her if you like. Caraway, yeah. You may talk to her if you like, though she's a bit in the way of being hysterical at the moment. She's in the victim's dressing room, through that door, and up the stairs. But before you go, I'd like to confirm some theories of my own. Okay? Okay? Have you already decided on an explanation for the crime, Inspector? There is no doubt that this is the Ripper's doing. The fact that we are miles away from his habitual haunts in Whitechapel is of absolutely no significance. If he'd left his calling card, it would be no clearer. The man is a monster. See, I'm afraid I cannot give myself the pleasure of agreeing with you, Inspector, and being a man of scientific temperament, I doubt whether Mr. Ron will concur with your theory. You seem to be very sure of your facts, Strahd, but I believe that there is evidence that contradicts your interpretation. I assure you that I have examined everything in great detail, Mr. Holmes. I seriously doubt that I have missed a significant clue. What have you seen that goes against my theory? I suspect you noticed the victim's jewelry is missing. What do you make of that? I presume you are referring to the abrasions on her neck and hands. As you well know, the Ripper takes selected items of jewelry from his victim. This further supports my case, Holmes. I believe that if my theory were flawed, you would be the man to set me straight. But it looks like you have nothing material to add. The killer's choice of weapon is most telling, don't you think? Indeed, my professional eye tells me that this woman was killed with a surgeon's scalpel, and we know the Ripper uses a scalpel with the skill of a medical man. Isn't that so, Dr. Watson? From what I have read, Inspector, the answer is yes, but I would not presume to commit myself before the autopsy is completed. I must say that if the scalpel was used, it was a dull one. The wounds appear a bit ragged. Well, that's as may be. I'm certain that the medical examiner will confirm my observation that a surgeon's scalpel was the instrument of death, Mr. Holmes. Do you have any credible reason to believe that the weapon was not a scalpel? If you look closely at the victim's coat and at the wounds, you may notice that the fatal blade has a serrated edge. Dr. Watson, can one find a serrated edge in a physician's black bag? I regret, Inspector, that I know of no such instrument in the hands of any medical man. That is unusual. I suspect that it is insignificant. I never said the Ripper was a doctor. Perhaps his other scalpel lost its razor's edge. He's done enough foul work with it, heaven knows. Let's not confuse the investigation with trivialities, gentlemen. Perhaps the murderer was imitating the style of Jack the Ripper. The gutter press has been filled with lurid accounts of the fiend's disgusting exploits. Perhaps won't feed the bulldog, Doctor. I need facts. Mr. Holmes may hypothesize. My hypothesis is that Ripper is responsible for this brutal murder. Because there may be a bit of confusion surrounding the serrated blade, I will concentrate my efforts on the question of the murder weapon. But I would not be adverse to you and Dr. Watson looking further into this entire matter. If you wish, you may speak with the witnesses in the victim's dressing room, and you may want to examine the victim's flat at 21 Braid Street. Okay, so there we go. All right, so Lestrade thinks it's Jack the Ripper because of the MO. I am somewhat doubtful of that because the serrated scalpel is kind of weird. So we're going to go in the building, but we're going to save as let's investigate. All right, we're going to open the door. Well, let's talk to the let's talk to this guy. See if we can talk to him. Is everything here exactly as you found it? Nothing's been moved since I arrived, Mr. Holmes. I rang up the inspector, and he was most particular in his instructions. Touch nothing, he says. So I've been standing here like a lump. Okay. All right. I mean, we don't really have anything else to deal with. Wait, there's a piece of paper. Let's look at that. I didn't see that before. Battered piece of paper. That's new. Appears to be a common theater playbill. Take it. Take it. We can. The playbill is dated for 2 nights ago. On the back is a message which appears to have been hastily scrawled. Meet me outside the stage door after the show. I have important news. Interesting. That is interesting. That's very interesting, actually. That's very interesting. We've looked at the corpse. There's nothing over there. There's a cigarette butts there. We get the white powder. I would like to get some white powder. Can get some powder. Okay, cool. We picked up some white powder. The powder could come in useful. We'll probably use it at our lab. Do some analysis. All right. What else have we got? Message, business card. Give a business card to Rod. No, that's a point. Okay, let's open the door. Probably give a business card to the woman, though. All right, we open the door. We go in. You must be Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. I'm Henry Carruthers, the stage manager. Inspector Lestrade told me you might want to look around the place. Feel free. I'm afraid we cannot be of much help. Poor Sarah. Is that the girl who witnessed the incident? Yes, her name is Sheila Parker. She was in the dreadful state earlier. Fainted dead away. As you can see, she's still very upset. I doubt she'll be able to answer any questions just yet. Okay. Well, we'll try. Let's talk to her. Miss Parker, I'm sorry to trouble you. Do you think you could bring yourself to describe what you saw? I saw Sarah lying there. Oh, it's all so horrible. I can't bear to think about it. She seems near hysterical. Holmes, and rightly so. I doubt she will be of much help in her current condition. Okay, well, let's give her a business card. Okay, well, let's give him a business card. Nobody wants my business card. What the heck? This is crap. Alright, we got some posters. Let's look at those. They're called pictures, but they look like posters. Boxboard portraits of several notable London stage actors of the previous generation are glued securely to the wall. Okay. Look at the dressing screen. a well-traveled but unexpectedly lovely oriental silk dressing screen. The demands of modesty forbid an explanation for what goes on behind the scene. Suffice to say, there is nothing worthy of note there now. Whoa, I see some. What's this? What's this? I see something under the. It's kind of glowing. Right there. Look at that. It is a steel spring attached to a small square mass of solid brass. Save it. Okay. What did we just get? What is it? What is this thing? It's a spring with a little ball on the end? Okay. Interesting. Done. Look in the wardrobe. The shelves have been ripped out and it contains costumes used by the theater company. The sleeves and pockets of several garments are turned inside out, and the overall conditions of the clothing suggest that it is poorly maintained or that it has been ransacked. Well, that's interesting. A handwritten card. Look at that. The note reads, "Dear Sarah, what's in a name? A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. A secret admirer." This misquote from Romeo and Juliet is strangely the product of a feminine right hand with the unusual habit of dotting I's with tiny hearts. Okay. These are pink carnations with dark red veins in the petals. The startling but common effort is probably achieved by staining the flowers in some kind of dye or staining fluid. An analysis of one of these blooms might prove useful. Okay, pick it up. Okay, picked up a flower. Let's see if we can pick up the note. I kind of want the note too. That's relevant. Okay, we got the note. The note seems like it could be relevant. Some sort of admirer that could have potentially killed her or have been a witness. It's locked. Okay. I wasn't able to get that knife, so I can't, I probably can't open the drawer. Chair. Perfume bottle. Oh, let's look at those. See if the perfume is the same type that the woman was wearing. The perfume is called Eau de Seine. The label lists the address of the perfume as Bell's Perfumery in Westminster. There's a ribbon around the bottles as if it were a gift. Take it. Okay, we got some perfume bottles. Okay. Okay. Cool. Right. Wardrobe. We got a flower. We got the note. Mirror. There. What's this? The mirror is one solid piece of glass with no removable back. The nooks and crannies of the carved mirror frame, which is poorly painted, a dingy yellow, to look like gold, reveal nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, let's talk to Henry. What is the problem with that door, Mr. Carruthers? Which is to say, what are you doing? The plate is broken. I'm attempting to repair it, but I'm afraid it's quite beyond me. I'll probably hire a locksmith to do the work. Who forced this door? Inspector Lestrade thinks it was the Ripper. He says that Ripper broke in here and dragged Sarah out into the alley to murder her. Do you think that's what happened, Mr. Holmes? I mean, technically, I know that's not what happened because I saw the intro. The inspector has many fine qualities, but he is overly fond of theatrics. It is clear that the murderer did not attack Miss Carraway here in this room. What is your evidence for that, Mr. Holmes? The location of the woman's hat. Exactly what I thought, Mr. Holmes. She wouldn't have had her hat unless she was going out the back room. That means the Ripper must have broken in during the performance and then went back outside to wait for her. I can't see that anything is missing, though. Do you know of anyone who might have harbored a grudge toward Miss Carraway? A rival, or jilted lover, or perhaps an excessive admirer? Certainly not. I cannot imagine why anyone would want to harm her. She wasn't the greatest actress, but she was popular in a way, and sweet. Though now that you mention it, there was a young fellow who's asking about her a short time back. He seemed rather suspicious. Really? What was suspicious about him? I found him hanging about in the alley. He asked if Sarah worked here. I offered to take a message, but he refused to leave his name or his reason for calling. He just said he was just a lad, no more than 17, but bright-eyed and very single-minded. He didn't want to see Sarah so much as he wanted her address. Did you give it to him? What do you take me for, sir? I don't go handing my girls over to any dimwit who just happens by. Thank you. My refusal didn't seem to bother him at all, though. He just smiled and thanked me for my time. Pretty as you please. Then he said if I changed my mind, he'd make it worth my while, and that I could leave a message for him at the Moongate, whatever that means. Have you recalled any details that might assist my investigation? I think I've told you everything I know. Okay. Huh. Well, that's interesting. So we've got the Moongate. We've got we've got a lot to this. There's a lot to this. We have a secret admirer who delivered some flowers to her, who misquoted Romeo and Juliet, which I don't think is a matter of difference, but they also seem to have dipped them in a red dye, which we don't know what it is. I think we want to analyze it. It could be blood. I don't know. I don't know if blood would work. It probably would. But some sort of red thing. Maybe that's kind of in a way a threat. I don't know if there's anything else for us to do here. I mean, there's a lot of things. Basket, chair. Let's look at the chair. We'll look at the chair to look at. A straight back velveteen upholstered chair, probably intended for visitors. It's a bit worn and has seen better days. The upholstery is not ripped, nor do any of the finishing tacks appear loose. Okay, so a chair that's old but is of decent quality. Okay. Alright, I think we're done in here. I still don't know what this spring thing is, but we got a flower, we got a spring, we got some powdery substance, we got a handwritten card, we have a perfume bottle. We have a lot of clues. I think that's it. It could be cocaine. Holmes. Wait, I missed that. What did he just say? Wait, there's a stain. Stain. There's a stain. The stain has a look and smell of Macasker hair oil. There is a splattering around the stain indicative of a mild impact. A single black hair 2 inches long is caught in the oil. Oh, okay. Somehow I missed that. I don't know if I clicked the button while he was talking or something. Okay. We pick up the stain. Nothing of it there. There's a black hair. Let's look at it again. Single black hair 2 inches long is caught in the oil. Interesting. So a black hair looks like a mild impact. So as if the person was tall. They were taller than the door. Maybe they hit their head on the door, so they were taller than the door. They kind of hit their head on the door because they forgot to duck, something like that. They were taller than me. They would be tall, ultimately. Okay. Oh man, this has like everything. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that is handy if you accidentally mess up and miss something. The journal seems to have everything that Watson said, and everything that the witness said, and likely everything that pretty much I said. But there's a hair that I would like to get, but I don't seem to be able to get it. Oh well. This woman's distress appears to be genuine, Dr. Watson. As a professional observer, would you say her behavior is that of a person who has suffered a terrible shock? She is certainly within what I would call the credible emotional range of such a person. I believe her response to be authentic, though the woman is an actress, and you yourself, Holmes, have fooled me countless times with your own sham performances. Okay. Can we ask him to administer the sedative? What does this room tell you of the victim? The portraits of actors from the past suggest that she was comfortable and happy in her profession. Judging by the flowers and perfume, I say that she was more liked than despised. Valid, 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 I suppose. Have you espied any new detail? Has a blinding revelation struck your brain? I regret to admit, Holmes, that I am more confused now than when we arrived. Did you have anything that might calm Miss Parker? We might as well have the benefit of her testimony, meager though Lestrade claims it to be. Yes, Holmes. I'm carrying a potent sedative. A small dose should do the trick. Try this. Okay. Thank you, sir. I feel better. But much like I'm swimming underwater, I think I can answer your question now. My tongue will obey my brain. Miss Parker, do you now think you might tell us what you saw of this terrible murder? I saw Sarah lying there dead. Blood was everywhere, but especially by her head. I could see her her inside. A man in a cloak was running off into the street, but I didn't get a good look at him. I didn't see no more than that, sir. Honest. I just run in here, fainted. Yes. Next thing I know, Mr. Carruthers is waving his coat in my face. Do you know any of her friends or relatives? No, sir, not personally. I don't even know Sarah very well. But about a week ago, Sarah got this pendant. Big, ugly thing it was, too. She said it was from her sister. I believe her name is Anna or Hannah, but I don't know where she lives. It's interesting. That's very interesting. Do you know the secret admirer, the person who gave her these flowers? No, and neither did Sarah. She never was one to appreciate gifts from strangers, but she so liked these that she decided to keep them. Just tonight, she told me I could throw them out if I had a mind to. Now, the inspector has told us to touch nothing until he completes his investigation. How am I supposed to get dressed? I guess that's valid. Okay, any other talk to her? Perfume was a gift, wasn't it? Do you know who gave it to her? She said it was from her special friend, but I know nothing about him. He called for her here from time to time, but she was very secretive, always making sure everyone was away before she brought him up. As far as I know, he's the only man to see the inside of this room other than Mr. Carruthers. I have no idea why she didn't want to show him off. Interesting. So... Oh, I think I know why. I might know why. I found this playbill in the alleyway. Does this note written on the back mean anything? Let me see it. I wondered where that had got to. My fiancé came in all the way from Golders Green that night. He couldn't wait to tell me he had found a flat for us. We're to be married early in the new year. I'll be leaving the theater, and none too soon by the looks of it. So this note was hers? Okay. That was like a right. Do you know anyone who could be responsible for this attack? I didn't know anyone on earth could do such a thing as done here. Now I know there's monsters in the world for certain, but I can't believe they are friends of mine or Sarah's for that matter. What was your relationship with Mrs. Carroway? I was her understudy. She was performing the play The Loves of Hattie Hill, and Sarah was the lead. I played Beth, servant girl, but I understudied the lead in case. Oh, I can't. Got it. Can you direct me to anyone who might help me learn more about Miss Carroway? No, sir, I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't know her very well. She was very protective of her personal life. Okay, I got some info. I got some decent info. And hopefully Watson wrote it all down in the journal. Let's check to see. Yeah, he did. He wrote everything down. So we now have 38 pages of journal. My goodness. Like all the dialogue is in this journal. That is kind of cool and kind of like frightening at the same time. But we do have a search option, so that's kind of cool. We could search for like Sheila. I see it right there, but oops. Of course, it doesn't find it. Okay. Okay. How does this search work? Oh, there we go. Okay, it does work. Okay. I was searching forward, so it's like okay, I get it. All right. I think we're done here. I think we are now done here. Let's try talking to him again just one more time. See if there's anything we can get out of him. No. This is locked. And there was a key in the purse. So it looks like I can't leave. I wonder why. I'm going to take a... I think I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back. I need to get something more to drink. I'm out of drink. Need to use the restroom, so I'll be back in a little bit. And we'll continue our investigation. I don't think we can leave this room until we've investigated everything. We must not have investigated everything. But I'm going to be right back. Alright. I am back. And I got myself a snack. And I got myself a drink. So, there seems to be some sort of... I have to do everything in the room that I need to do, or at least a certain portion of it, in order to proceed with this investigation. Because that's just the way the game works. Which isn't a bad thing. Okay. I feel the wardrobe. Put my inventory again. Can't do that. I thought that might fix the door. This looks like a... almost like a... use spring. Nope. Use spring wardrobe. Nope. Use spring on Watson. Use spring on him. Use spring on her. Use note on her. Nope. Feel like I need to get into this drawer. It's locked. Okay. How do we unlock them? Can we unlock them? Can we talk to her anymore? No, she doesn't have any. And he doesn't have anything else. Well, let's talk to Dr. Watson again. Nope. Wasn't there either. We can close the wardrobe, I guess. Okay. I feel like we need to maybe investigate this stain a little bit more. Like, this seems really relevant. There was somebody and they kind of hit their head on the door and left a hair on the door. That is very relevant. No, can't do that either. Well, what am I supposed to do? Is there any way to do some more significant investigating of the wardrobe? Hmm. Clothing suggests it was either poorly maintained or has been ransacked. We took a flower. Let's look at the door. It's a noteworthy stain. Well, I can't leave this room. The bolt has jammed in the lock. Oh, it replaced the spring mechanism. Okay, that's why I need the spring. Give spring to him. I believe this spring may be helpful in repairing the lock. Why, yes, thank you. I believe that is just the piece I need. I'll have this finished in a moment if my fingers don't fail me. Alright, now I can open the door. I think her... Oh, I can talk to him now. Wait, no. I want to take the key. I want the key from this purse. Pick up. Handbag. Alright. Let's talk to, Lestrade again. Is there anything more you can tell me, Inspector? I have said all I have to say. I can only hope that my inquiries into the source of the murder weapon will reveal some new link that will lead me to this foul criminal and help me send him to the gallows. I hope you have seen something that I have overlooked, though I suspect the chance is remote. It appears I have little choice save to report to the yard that Jack the Ripper is no longer satisfied with hunting in Whitechapel. A citywide alert must be posted. I think you're wrong. I mean, Lestrade seems to want to do his own thing. He doesn't seem to want to listen to me in a lot of cases. He wants to he wants to just assume he's correct. That's his MO. Okay. So we've got a bunch of stuff. So there's nothing else I think I can really do here. I don't think I can pick up these cigarette butts, but if we can, I will. I can't. Okay, then I will. Can't pick up the hat. I can't pick up the purse, and I obviously can't pick up the body. So I picked up everything that I can pick up. All right, I think we're gonna leave. All right, let's go to her house. Her flat, as they call it in the UK. We'll go to her flat. Caught by horse-drawn chariot. picture, which is off, which is not straight. A bookshelf. Dr. Watson. Healing wallpaper. A laundry basket. Let's look at the laundry basket. Capacious wicker basket of the type manufactured in Singapore and sold in nearly every street market in the metropolis. This one contains a conventional assortment of dirty laundry. Among the sheets, towels, and female undergarments is a man's orange-colored rugby sweater. A man's rugby sweater with the colors and insignia of the Kensington Rugby Club. Back of the collar is heavily stained with oil, and a few black hairs are embedded in the fibers of the wood. Okay, we know whoever was wearing this sweater is the one who left the stain and black hair on the door in the dressing room. Interesting. We can't pick it up. Nothing to look at. A standard 2-drawer dresser filled with cheap cotton underclothes, stockings, and jars. Okay, a teapot. Oh, I'm going over to the teapot. A serviceable, typical China teapot. 100 just like it are sold every day. Wait. And let's look at this painting. A cheap reproductions of Gainsborough's stunning portrait of the Duchess of Devonshire, nicknamed the Stolen Duchess, since the daring theft of the original from a Bond Saint gallery in 1876. Okay, let's move it. Nope. Let's pick it up. Nope. Let's open it. Nope. Let's use it. Nope. Okay. Nothing. There's a door here. There's an umbrella. Look at the umbrella. Okay. This is an old and shapeless classic Broly, which has clearly survived a number of seasons. The blue muslin fabric is faded and it is dry despite the wet weather outside. There is a slight bulge in the fabric near the tip. Interesting. Implying there might be something in it. There's a key. A key? Amazing, Holmes. Only you could draw good luck from an action that's supposed to yield its opposite. Thank heaven you're not superstitious. Picked up a brass key. It could be the key for the cabinet at the could be a key for the cabinet at the in the dressing room. That's a possibility. Which could lead to some more clues. Okay, nothing under the rug. The rug is offset, but let's look at looks like a cross there. Bookshelf. Let's look at the bookshelf. A simple wooden shelf holds a half dozen assorted 2-penny novels and the Holy Bible. The shelf area is messy. Books are open. Spines on 1 or 2 of the titles are broken. Okay. It's like about only things we do. Let's talk to Watson if he has anything to add to this conversation. A rather humble home, Watson. What does it suggest to you? It suggests that acting is not a lucrative profession, Holmes. If you wanted to conceal something of value or importance in this room, Watson, where would you put it? Is there anything of import in this room? It is beyond my feeble powers to detect. Do you believe Miss Carraway to have been an indifferent housekeeper? It appears that house cleaning was not one of her strengths. Still, this appears to be more than casual messiness. Excellent, Watson. What do you conclude from the condition of this room? That the police made a dog's breakfast of searching through her effects? Not necessarily, old friend. It is indeed clear that the room has been rather hastily searched. However, there is no indication by whom the search was done. Let us remember that there may be someone else investigating Miss Carraway's affairs. Watson, has anything new occurred to you? This room has much in it, but little of significance. Yet you often see where I am blind. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Got the rugby sweater, which we found. Can't pick it up. We got a dresser. We got a candle. Let's see. What else? Picture, umbrella. We got the fire exit. Let's open the fire. Let's see if we can open it. Cannot be open. Crossbar is sturdy and topped with enough coal dust to indicate it has not been removed in any time recently. We use that. No, we can't move this. Look. Coal dust. I think that's about it. I think that's all we can do here. Key is interesting. The key is interesting. I don't think there's anything of value to find here other than the key. The key seems to be the most interesting thing. And this picture is also interesting because pick it up, move it, look at it. We've already looked at it. Talk to it, close it, give it, use it. Okay. Alright, we're gonna leave. We found a key. I think I might know where the key goes. We're gonna go back here. Nice. Scotland Yard has been uncharacteristically efficient, Holmes. It appears that they've already moved the body to the morgue. Well, we have some look at the chalk outline. Well, I went to her house and I found a key hidden in the umbrella, which is interesting. I'm here to see if the key can be used on the dresser, which was locked. A rough outline of the murder victim drawn in chalk by Scotland Yard for reference in its investigation of the murder site. The body itself and any personal effects have presumably been sent to the morgue. Okay. Her hat's gone, the body's gone. There's still some blood, but can't do anything about that. Let's see if we can go back in here. If I can't go in here, that would be annoying. I can't go back in here. Well, that's annoying. It most likely opens something smaller, like a drawer or a jewelry box. Yeah, there was a drawer in there that was locked. Okay. Well, I'm just drinking some sparkling water. And I got some snack because I was hungry. Let's see. Can't look at this. Well, I'm on a low carb diet, so so I tend to get hungry when I'm hungry. Not I guess I didn't eat a whole lot today. Yeah, yeah, lots of almonds, and in this case, I had pecans. I'm gonna go back to her house. Is there anything else I could find in here? I mean, I could try using this on the dresser, but I don't think so. Use it on the painting. Try it on the painting. No. There's nothing else that we could possibly use it on. I don't think. I do agree with that. I usually have pecans with dark chocolate. That's a common snack for me. I still think that picture's suspicious, but can't look under the bed. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my I'm gonna go back to my I guess I'll go back to my oh wait, we got more places we can go. Jeez, we have a lot of places we can go. We can go back to the morgue. We can go to the field. I don't know why we would go. Oh, that's where the rugby field. Okay. Let's go to the perfume place. Was there a time element to this game? I hope not. Good day, gentlemen. My name is Belle. If you require any assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. Use perfume bottle on Belle. No. Talk to Belle. I'm looking for a young man who purchased some perfume from you recently. I may be able to help you. What scent did he purchase? Eau de Chine. Ah, that is a very popular scent. Of the quality perfumes, it has the most modest price. What does this young man look like? He wears heavy wool sweaters. He wears copious amounts of oil in his hair. He has his hideous habit of clipping his fingernails in public places. He wears copious amounts of castor oil in his hair. Is he tall or short? He is very tall, taller than myself. Is he thin or stout? Ooh, I don't know that. I mean, the sweater would probably tell me his build, but I don't know. I am not yet sure of his build. Can you tell me the color of his hair? Yes, he has black hair. He has black hair. I do recall a young man like the one you described. He wore a striped jersey with a number on it. I remember because when I remarked on it, he said he played rugby at a field near me. I'm afraid I do not recall the number. Yeah, it does. Although I don't recall getting that information from the sweater. I mean, I guess I can look it up. Um, um, oh, I guess not. Well, good job, Watson. You're supposed to write down details, and you didn't write down this one. I would like to purchase some perfume. Very good, sir. Which scent did you have in mind? Oh, I don't know what scent I want. Variety of colognes. I don't have a reason to buy perfume right now. Really? Alright, let's leave. We have a man from a rugby field. I don't really want to, I want to go to the, I want to investigate more. I don't think confronting this guy is the best idea right now. Good day, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson. You'd like to look at the body, I expect. I'll be with you in a moment. Please look around if you wish. Okay, what do we got to look at? Ooh, tray of pathology tools. Look at those. A tray of medical examiner's tools. Scalpels, clamps, needles, and sutures. Can we get him? No. Who's this? Inspector Gregson. What's he doing? The inspector, one of Scotland Yard's most experienced and dedicated officers, seemed preoccupied with a case of his own. Oh, it's you, Holmes. Hello, Inspector. Yes, Holmes, what can I do for you? Now he's talking to me. Oh, that's it. Okay. Dead body number 1. Probably the... Oh, dead body number 1 and dead body number 2. Look at dead body number 1. Is that her? This unfortunate young woman bled to death from deep stab wounds inflicted in her throat and upper chest. The fatal blade may have resembled the one reputed to be wielded by Jack the Ripper. Okay. Body 2. Look up dead body 2. The shallow but lethal incisions across the female's throat appear to have been made by a surgeon's scalpel or straight razor. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. There's 2 bodies here. There are 2 bodies here. Okay. I thought he was going to I don't know. I mean, it does have a lot of investigation and stuff. I would not call the I mean, I guess in the day that was pretty graphic. Um, has Miss Sarah Caraway's body arrived here yet? Yes. I was just filling out some of the paperwork. May I see the personal items that Inspector Lestrade sent with the body? It's not standard procedure, Mr. Holmes, but I suppose there'd be no harm in showing them to you. Wait a moment, won't you? I will get them in my office. Doop, doop, doop. He's gone. I don't think there's anything I can do here. Oh, wait, here's her body. This is the... Oh, here we go. Wait, there's a necklace here. There's a charm bracelet. A delicate gold chain to which is attached a semi-precious violet stone. It appears to be an amethyst and perhaps indicates that the victim was born between January 20th and February 18th, because that's the birthstone of that month. Okay. This. A small compact tin of Morley's number 8 facial talc. A cotton wool applicator. This is a key. A large key of the type usually associated with the locks of iron gates or sturdy external doors. And a silk handkerchief. A handsome crimson handkerchief made of Japanese silk. Can we take the key? I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes, but I can't allow you to take anything without proper authorization. Well, pooh. Have you learned anything more of the circumstances surrounding Mrs. Caraway's death? Not really, Mr. Holmes. I did discover a trace quantity of a curious powdery substance on her coat. It doesn't look like cosmetic powder. My laboratory assistant won't be in until tomorrow, so it hasn't been analyzed. Would you like to see a sample of it? Indeed, I would. Ah, yes, this looks to be just like the specimen I removed from the body at the murder scene. Perhaps I should analyze it at my lab. Excellent. Perhaps you would be good enough to report your findings to me. Of course, Doctor. Okay. I mean, it is very articulate and puzzly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I played Police Quest games when I was fairly young. I remember getting I remember getting Police Quest Open Season, which was pretty graphic. I mean, it was pretty graphic for the time. I don't remember when I got it, but it probably about near when it came out, which and it was on like a bunch of floppy disks. That's what I remember about it. Lots and lots and lots of floppy disks. Okay, the charm bracelet I'm interested in. Oh, it's a charm bracelet. Okay, I thought it kind of looks like a necklace, but it's not. Okay. Anything else I can ask him about? Finish with these texts for now, thank you. Very good, Mr. Holmes. You may view them again whenever you like. I won't send the stuff. And I hate it when the text does that. Okay. Okay. That. What about these bodies? What's up with these bodies? Yeah, I don't remember how many discs. I had Police Quest Open Season, which was, I don't remember. It was a lot of discs. It was a lot of floppy. I'm sure they're glad they don't have to do that anymore. It's really all I can do here is look at the stuff. What did that add to the journal? So he only records dialogue. He doesn't actually record other types of evidence. Like if I look at something and have a thought and I don't speak the thought, it will not get recorded in the journal. That is interesting. Okay, well let's try. I guess we'll try and go to the rugby field. That's the next. Wait, oh, massive stone archway. I don't see what that would have anything to do with anything. All right, so we could go back to our lab. Let's go to the field because I think this is relevant. Whoa. This. Save. Space Quest, or King's Quest 5 came on 10 floppy disks. Okay, that's a lot of floppy disks. That is a lot of floppy disks. That's me. Excuse me, young man. It hurts. It's off, won't you? Is that ouch, Em? Ouch. Ouch. Okay, let's talk to the ouch. Jenkins! Watch what you're about, man. Your tackling techniques betrays no knowledge of the sport. Although it's been years since I stepped into a rugby match, Holmes, that group looks a sorry lot to me. I want to talk to the coach. Your current club appears to have excellent athletic skills. I suspect that your guidance will shape them up sharply into a good team. Not with you hanging over my shoulder. I've got 15 blokes that don't know their left foot from the right. So I guess if you knew anything about rugger, you know that size don't signify. Give me midgets with heart and knowledge of the game, and we'd hold our own. I've got over 30 shirkers scattered over this field. With you pestering me, I'll never beat them into shape. Okay. Alright, let's talk to him. Here, boy, have you ever seen a young woman named Sarah Caraway watching the practices? I don't think I've heard that name, but then my duties keep me very busy, and the players don't talk much to me. Okay. I suppose your coach doesn't pay you very well for all your work. Here's an extra shilling for taking the time to talk to us. I don't want no wages, guy. I like helping the team. I'm going to be a 3/4 when I grow up. Okay. Yeah, this game is very British. I mean, it's Sherlock Holmes, so you kind of expect it to be. Well, let's leave, I guess. Unless Dr. Watson has something to say. Do you know anything about this sport, Watson? In my younger days, I had modest success and a wonderful time playing with the Blackheath Football Club. It's difficult to tell whether or not these lads are enjoying themselves. You see anything of import? Not a thing, although my powers of deduction are pathetically meager when compared to yours. That's valid. That's valid. That's totally valid. A rugby ball. Well, let's look at the rugby ball. What seemed at first glance to be an enormous hemanic pig's bladder turns out to be a slightly deflated rugby ball. I think Watson knows that as long as he humbles me or strokes my ego, that things are good. Alright, let's go back to the lab and we'll investigate. Let's talk to him. Let's talk to Wiggins. Oh yeah, 1992. There's a sequel in 1993. I require your assistance, Wiggins. At your service, Mr. Holmes. Do you have a job for the irregulars? Yes, Higgins. I have a certain flower, and I'd like you to trace it for me. Very good, sir. Let me have a look at it, then. Give flower to Higgins. A bloomin' flower? What do you want me to do with it, Mr. Holmes? I need you to find the vendor who sells flowers like this one. A special flower, is it? Well, it looks like a common enough bud to me. Flowers like this one is sold in just a blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. I hate it when it goes too fast. I don't know if the stories connect. I don't know if it's a proper sequel or not. It's called The Case of the Rose Tattoo. It looks like it's definitely done in a different style. So they used a different engine. Have an updated engine. And it doesn't really have any information about it in what I'm looking at. But alright. I think we got that going. Let's go in the door. Let's go inside. Inside. Alright. No. Use powdery specimen with lab table. Alright. Hopefully this isn't complicated. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. This is way more complicated than I expected. Save. Lab. Table. Okay, we've got some matches. We've got an oil wick burner. We've got a test tube. We've got... Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. What do we do? What are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Use... Do we have a I think I have a manual for this game. Let's look at it. Let's look at the manual. Let's see what it says. Let's see. Whoops. Not mean to. Okay, so explaining the stuff about the journal, the inventory, the map. There's actually a map in here. Getting around, epilogue. That's about it. Nothing about pictures of the development team. That's about it. Okay, nothing. Anything else? That's about it. So yeah, I don't know what to do here. I didn't see anything in a manual about this. I wonder if there's anything else that came with the game that would have given me a clue. Interesting. Well, I saved it, so let's use the powder in the test tube. Wait, what just happened? I didn't want to do that. Use powder on test tube. Oh, okay. Okay, it's kind of walking me through this right now. Use matches. Okay, it's kind of walking me through this. I said I want to use this on this, and it put a specific thing in there for me. Okay, all right. Use this on test tube. Okay, now I'm adding zinc for some reason. Adding the powder found on the victim. This indicates the presence of arsenic. Oh, interesting. The chemical reaction has caused a dark mirrored film to form on the cooler upper portion of the tube. This reaction is indicative of arsenic. Hey. Yeah, it looked like it was going to be ridiculous. But I thought I'd just click and see what happened. And then I just added some random substance to the tube. And I was like, okay. Alright, so now what? Oh, we did add that. Holmes performed a thorough analysis of the white powdery substance, found that his findings revealed that in addition to a common soap, salt of tartar, and camphor, trace amounts of highly toxic arsenic was present in the compound. He concluded that the combination of these substances was indicative of Ducor's arsenical soap, common preservative. Okay. I don't know what to do with that information. Like, I really have no idea what to do with that information. And that, anything else I can... Well, I can go back to the morgue, I guess. Nope, can't do that. Oh. Okay. More info. I can use the flowers on the lab table now. Yeah, I agree. I have played not on stream, but I have played Freddy Farka's Frontier Pharmacist, and it contains a manual of things you need to do and specific actions you need to take. Yeah, I think this one, I think all we have to do with this one is put it under the microscope and look at it. The petal is artificially dyed. I think we kind of already knew that one. A high quality compound. Okay. 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 We might be able to put some petals in the flask and maybe kind of figure out what the dye is. Let's see if we can use the flower on the flask. Nitric acid to warm water bath. So I think we're going to attempt to pull the artificial dye out of the flowers and try and figure out what the dye is, I guess, is what we're doing right now. Science. Science. A yellow particulate. The dye used must have an iodine base. Okay. Nice. Good to know. That's good to know, I suppose. Okay. Holmes suspected that the veins produced had been caused by an artificial process. When his microscope did the petals, he performed an analysis confirming the presence of an iodine solution. Okay. Iodine. Whoops. Exit. Exit. Alright, alright. So we got iodine. Can we do anything more with this stuff? I don't think so. No, I don't think there's anything more we can do with it. No, there's not any more we can do with it. That's it. Okay. Alright. Anything else we got in our inventory that we can investigate? The analysis results. Analysis of the flower petal has determined that the substance used. Okay, so we have analysis results in our inventory, which we can. Alright. So I think we're going to do something with those analysis results. So we're going to go to the morgue and tell the coroner what we found. Iodine. Talk to Wiggins again. Oh, not that one. I don't have it. Alright. Talk to him. So well I trust, can't complain. And if I did, who would listen? Too good, too true. There's so little kindness in the world. Good day to you. All right, we want to leave and head to the morgue and give the coroner the findings on our little. Use analysis results on coroner. Give analysis results to coroner. Talk to coroner. Okay. Fine. No, I don't want to do that. Ah. Talk to coroner. I've analyzed the powder you found on the victim's body. Excellent, Mr. Holmes. What were your findings? My analysis showed it to be some form of arsenic compound mixed with soap. That's a peculiar combination. I can tell you that arsenic had nothing to do with the cause of death. Thank you, Doctor. Okay, so arsenic had nothing to do with the cause of death. Interesting. I need to run a few tests on these items while I have them here, Mr. Holmes. Okay. Alright, well that's really all I need here. Alright. Okay. Perfume place, not really relevant. The rugby place, not relevant. The only other place I can go back to is her house. I can't talk to... We're gonna go back to the alley just because it's on my way. I don't think I can do anything here, but we can always go here and see what we get. The cigarette butts are... It was interesting that I could pick them up. Let's see. Well, we can try it now. Whoops. Nothing of interest here. That's what it seems to say. Just nothing of interest. Nothing of interest to actually pick up. I wasn't expecting that. The theater's costumes mistress apparently dumps fabric remnants and soiled work into this crate. The contents appear undisturbed. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that to work. But there's nothing in there. Like it's just like a loose box. It's not like nailed up or anything. Maybe that will be relevant at some point. Alright. Nothing I can do here. Okay, let's go back to our house. I feel like there's something I'm missing here. But I don't know what. Let's look at the sweater. The back of the collar is heavily stained, and a few black hairs are embedded in the fibers of the wool, rather. Okay, so it doesn't tell me a size. Can I pick it up? No. Can I use? No. Use is on inventory, give. Actually, no, that's not true. The color and smell of the contents suggest the Darling family of teas brewed in the last 24 hours. Apparently, opening things is a good idea. Okay. Like, open the teapot. Okay. I don't think I can open the bookshelf. This cannot be opened. The dresser can't be opened. Move the teapot. Move the picture. No. Open the door. Move the door. Opening things is a good idea. Not that that really provided me any info. Open that. I like how Watson is always writing. I don't know what to do. I feel like I've done everything here. I found all the... Alright. I could buy perfume, but I don't know what scent I'd want. I have the one scent. So maybe I can do a analysis on the perfume. Maybe I should test that in my lab as well. The perfume. I didn't try that one. Nope, I can't do that. I think we're going to go to the perfume shop. We're going to see if we can buy another thing of the same perfume. Then we can compare the two to see if they're the same. Maybe the perfume was somehow altered. We can compare the substances with each other. That's a thought. Compare two perfumes. So I now should have 2 bottles of it. Yes, I have 2 bottles. One has a bow and one has a... Okay. Oh, that didn't work. I can't spray Dr. Watson with perfume. I kind of want to compare the two to see if they're the same. They have the same substance. So that's kind of what I want to do. See if maybe there was some sort of substance added to the other perfume. It seemed like a good idea. What else can I do today? This key is curious. I feel like the key is the biggest clue that I've got. I don't know what to do with it. Is there any place? If I could find the rugby player, that would be great. He's tall and he has black hair. I didn't talk. Last time I talked to him, he hasn't given me a report yet. I feel like I'm probably going to have to wait until the next day to get some answers for that inquiry. Like, I don't know how days end either. And I could talk to him again and see what happens. Yeah, he hasn't given me a report yet. All right. All right, let's go. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the morgue. Because I want that key. The key, I think, is key. The key, I think, is key to things. Inspector Gregson is here for some reason. Ah, he's got a new dialogue option. Inspector, could you authorize the release of some of the items? Inspector, could you authorize a release? The Caraway case? Who's investigating that one, Holmes? Inspector Lestrade is doing some of the preliminary work. Oh, you mean the new Ripper case? Lestrade always gets the glamour assignments. I get what falls off his plate. I'm here on a simple suicide. 3 witnesses saw the woman leap off London Bridge a week ago. Clearly a suicide. I'm just trying to tie up loose ends. Excuse me, Inspector, concerning those Caraway items? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm afraid I won't be able to help you, Mr. Holmes. Only Lestrade can release that evidence. I left him an hour ago at the yard. You might still find him there. I must warn you, though, security procedures have tightened up some. Tell them I sent you, and you will have no trouble. Ah! Okay, there's a lead. There's a lead right there. Okay, so now I should have that as a place I can go. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay. Who's this? An apparently blind vendor. Hello, Augie. In the pink and so on? Indeed, Mr. Holmes. Lovely spot for autumn weather we're having. Okay, that's weird. Oh, sorry, sir. My orders are to let no one pass without proper authorization. Good day, Consulate. I must speak with Inspector Lestrade. Sorry, sir. What with all the recent troubles, we've had to restrict access to the building. Authorized personnel only, I'm afraid. But this is Mr. Sherlock's home, the famous consulting detective. That's nothing to me, sir. No exceptions. Please move on. Ah yes, Inspector Gregson informed us of recent changes in security procedures, but I assure you, Constable, he has given us permission to enter. It's as may be, sir, but it takes my orders from Chief Inspector Palmer himself, and they are not one, and they are that no one is to pass without proper authorization. You understand, sir? Alright, so I can't get in. Wait. No. Let's talk to him some more. See if we can talk to him some more. No, nothing. Okay, let's go back to Gregson. Maybe he can write me a note. Let's talk to Gregson and say, hey, they're not letting me in. Write me a note. I regret to inform you, Inspector, that your name alone is insufficient for purposes of circumventing the yard's security procedures. What? Well, of all the incompetent, come along, Holmes. We'll get this sorted out immediately. Okay. So he's coming with me. Well, come along, Mr. Holmes. You too, Dr. Watson. I need some papers from the yard anyway. We'll get you in to see Lestrade, and then I'll return here. Okay. This should only take a moment, Holmes. What seems to be the problem here, Constable? No problem, sir. Truth is, it's been pretty quiet. Quiet, eh? If you'd like to keep it that way, Constable, then I suggest you allow Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson to enter immediately. But sir, my orders are... I'm well aware of your orders, Constable. Allow them entrance on my authority. I'll assume responsibility for Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson. Very well, sir. Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, you may consider yourself authorized personnel. You may enter whenever you wish. Much obliged, Constable, and thank you, Inspector. Think nothing of it, Holmes. We live to serve. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some matters to attend to. I thought he had to get some papers. Okay. I can ask if Lestrade is here, probably. Good day, Sergeant Duncan. I wish to speak to Inspector Lestrade. So would half the lads at Dartmoor Prison, Mr. Holmes. He's terrible busy at the moment. What with all this Ripper business, he left word not to be disturbed. Perhaps I can take a message. I need to speak to him myself. I dare not disturb him, Mr. Holmes. He left orders, special-like. Oh my gosh. All the... Ugh. Yep, he walked all the way to Scotland Yard, and he didn't pick up his papers. And now... Oh, there he is. The inspector is hip deep in paperwork. The never-ending... Oh, okay. He's right there! He's right there! I could just yell at him. Like, hey, Lestrade! Maybe I can do that. No, I can't. Just... I can't talk to him from here. Ah! Wait, what did I do? Did I do something? Oh, I just clicked on him. Arrgh! This is annoying. Police procedure is not all excitement in bringing criminals to the bar of justice. The constables in the bullpen plod along unrecognized and unappreciated, keeping the important records of the Metropolitan Police up to date. And there's Lestrade. Bullpen. Nothing. What's on his desk? I don't see anything. Let's look at his desk. A huge oak wood desk. From here, the duty officer assigns cases to constables and inspectors alike. The duty officer is not unlike a king of the police precinct. His desk is his throne. Okay. Maybe there's like something. Maybe I can talk to this guy about it. I don't know what. Good day, Constable. It is indeed, Mr. Holmes. What about this apparently blind vendor? Oh. Okay. I need your advice on a matter concerning Scotland Yard. Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, what can I do for you? I can't get Sergeant Duncan to fetch Lestrade for me. Do you have a suggestion? I just might be able to help if the price were right. I'm not in the habit of paying your exorbitant prices, Augie. Well, we seem to be at an impasse. What do you say, Dr. Watson? Shall I grass to Augie? Why not, Holmes? Augie, tell me about Sergeant Duncan, or I'll expose your little game to the police. Whatever are you on about, Dr. Holmes? My lights just turned off. I'm gonna go turn them back on real quick. Alright. You are not blind, Augie. You're shamming for sympathy. Does marvels for your business. I shouldn't wonder. I've been the way your eyes move behind your glass. I've seen the way the eyes move behind your glasses and the way you arrange your apples on the cart. Unblemished side out requires sight. You never feel for the size of a coin or bite it to test its metal. You hawk your wares more loudly than a well-dressed couple walks past. When a well-dressed couple walks past, and not at all when a beggar rambles by. I've seen you accurately box the ears of a stealthy street urchin trying to steal an apple, and just a moment ago you addressed a greeting to Dr. Watson. There's no way you could have known he was here. Enough, Mr. Holmes. Let's just keep this amongst ourselves, shall we? Live and let live, eh? I'll tell you this about Duncan. The way to that brute's heart is through a compliment. The man is a fool for flattery, susceptible as a child to a kind word he is. Yeah, that was kind of harsh. So that's why he's apparently blind, because he's not actually blind. Okay. So all I learned is that I should compliment him. Good day, Sergeant Duncan. Is the inspector available? He's still drowning in paperwork, Mr. Holmes. You should leave a message if you wish. Thank you. I'm sure an officer as distinguished as yourself, and the winner of the VC on top of that, knows when to supersede such an order on his own authority. Perhaps I could get him down here for just a moment. Inspector Lestrade, please reply to the duty officer's desk immediately. He seems unhappy. Oh, wait. What is it, Duncan? This had better be important. It is, Inspector. Here's Mr. Holmes to see you. Alright, that worked. Yeah, there you go. Hello, Inspector. I'm glad we found you in. I would like you to release some items from the Caraway murder investigation. What do you mean by some items? I'd like to examine some of Sarah Caraway's personal effects, which you sent to the morgue. If you don't mind, I'd like some of them to further my own investigation. Sarah Caraway? Oh, you mean the Ripper's last victim? It's an open and shut case as far as I'm concerned, but I know your methods by now, and I'm sure you won't be satisfied till you've beaten this case into the ground. Sergeant Duncan will write you a pass that you can give the medical examiner at the morgue. If he's finished with the woman's effects, they're yours. Thank you, Inspector. Okay, now we talk to him, and he's gonna write me the thing. Inspector Lestrade is authorized by my request to examine the Caraway's woman's effects at the morgue. May I have a pass, please? I heard him, Mr. Holmes. I have it right here. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I take it? That's true. I think I have. Oh, there it is. Pass. Okay. Alright. I can leave now. Alright, I'm gonna go to the morgue and I'm gonna get the stuff, and then I need to I'm gonna head to bed for the night. Okay. Hopefully the pass works and there's not like some other hoop I have to jump through. I mainly want... It is 2 a.m. It is 2 a.m. here. Since it's Labor Day, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm streaming a little bit later than usual. I can't do that. Maybe I can just talk to him. Yep. Come on. I've acquired permission from Inspector Lestrade to remove some of Miss Carraway's personal effects from my investigation. May I please view them again? Of course, Mr. Holmes. May I see the authorization? Naturally. Here it is. Very good, Mr. Holmes. I want the key. I definitely want the key. I don't think I need anything else. I mean, that's all I really want now. Okay, I was wrong. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna see. I want to see if my suspicions are correct. But the key goes to the door, and the other key I have goes to the desk. And we'll leave that as the... Assuming it works, it'll be like a nice end thing to end the end the day on. Because okay, large key, use large key on backstage door. Okay, this looks good. Looks good. Looks like it's gonna work. We're walking over there. Yeah, it worked. And now we're in here. Huh? What? Who's there? Oh, it's you. He's here. What is he doing here? Does he like live here or something? Alright, now we use this key on the chest, which is locked, and see if this works. It did! It totally worked! Yeah! What do we got? The contents are mostly uninteresting facial makeup tins and some old theater playbills. Of special interest are a pair of opera tickets. Ooh. In the bottom drawer. Some writing paraphernalia, some yellowing, miscellaneous pages from long, mercifully forgotten scripts. Okay, can I pick up the opera tickets? Look, Watson, a pair of season tickets to the opera. It would seem that Miss Carraway's interest in the arts extended beyond the confines of theater. Very commendable. I say, Holmes, even though opera tickets are almost impossible to obtain at any price, I understand your reluctance, Watson, but these tickets might very well provide the lead we need to further our investigation. Excuse me, Mr. Carruthers. Do you know anything about these opera tickets? Unless I missed my guess, those are tickets to the Chantry Opera House. Sarah never missed an opportunity to hear her sister sing. You mean Miss Carraway's sister is here in London? Just so, Doctor. She sings all the leading female roles. Very good, I'm told. I would have thought that you knew about her. It is sufficient that we know now, thank you, Mr. Carruthers. May we take these tickets? Of course, Mr. Holmes. I shouldn't think Inspector Lestrade has any use for them. I hate that it goes too fast. Yeah, opera tickets. I shouldn't think Inspector Lestrade has any use for them. He never even asked me about Anna. Okay. Alright. Cool. Okay, let's save. Save as have opera tickets. So probably go to the opera house. I would guess that would be our next next destination, or wherever the opera tickets are, which would probably be some sort of opera house, I would guess. So there we go. Okay, but we are going to